Apex Esports roster changes continue on in the offseason, or do they? As you can tell, obviously I'm sick, but we've still got news to cover with roster updates and roster conversations, podcasts going on to have a lot of people questioning many topics out there, and Mandy going on a rant about why Apex is declining in viewership right now. Obviously, a lot of concerns around the entire title of Apex. And then, of course, that leaves conversation for the future of its esports, with some leaving over to Deadlock and many other games out there. Will Apex be just fine? Obviously, we're hoping to see the game continue to grow maybe in the next year or so. We definitely need some better signs of light. Things have not been so hot lately, but we do got some roster updates to talk about. First off, Nocturnal from NRG, obviously a team that has had its moments, had a quick moment, but then hasn't necessarily kept up to that expectation. Possibly undergoing roster changes, right? Knock came out 3 days ago. This was over on Reddit, showing from Difficult Writer saying that, hey, look, we got confirmed here. New roster for NRG going into champs. And if you haven't seen this clip already, well, here's the clip from the podcast showing maybe NRG is going with a new third. Roll the clip.
I
didn't see anything.
You didn't see anything?
Missed it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about.
I'll add on to it. Privacy will not be the same roster for champs.
For you guys.
For us.
Oh my gosh.
He dropped it here, chat.
So after this privacy podcast, that's when many started to go in the comments to put on their detective hats to say what they think is going on, what they think is happening. So one of them was saying like, hey, I watched a good amount of this. And at the beginning, you had privacy asking the three guests what they think Bleed was looking for or who they could possibly pick up. Drop said in chat that they're not getting Lou, despite obviously a lot of playing with Lou lately. And the podcast is then mentioning Skittle Cakes. And then, someone had also said, if I recall correctly, Drop said Raven has a terrible poker face. Way later in the podcast, Knock says that they will have a new roster for champs. That's the clip that you just saw. But then after that goes on to say there's a reason Dropped said what he said. So it's assumed now that Lou might be going to NRG. Skittles might be going, to a return for champs here. No idea what's happening to Reptar, but obviously that's the finger that most are pointing at. And then another comment. Yeah, I just finished watching this, and even though there's always the possibility of bait, it 100% seemed that Knock was saying Lou will be playing with him and fun, and Dropped quoting to say we aren't getting Lou. I can confirm it is not Lou stream. So are they baiting? Is it real? Obviously that's what everyone's been talking about over the weekend. Knock did also say we will have a new team for champs. Quote, there's only one reason for Drop to say what he said. If you can put 2 and 2 together, you've got it. Congrats. That doesn't really feel like bait, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people agree with that. Now, at the time of recording, Dropped was live with a title that said first in tournament earlier with mystery third. Now, he wasn't streaming. He had streamed before the tournament and streamed after the tournament was over, but he did not necessarily, we couldn't necessarily hear the comms to determine who it was, I guess. But this mystery third that they played in the tournament the other day was Raven. That was Dropped, Raven, and Knocked. But obviously, many are saying that there's some other stuff going on. And regardless, hey, look, we could sit here and theorize all day long. Now, we actually think we do know who is going to be this new third mysterious player, and it doesn't seem to be Raven, of course. It actually seems to be yours truly. Get ready for this. I gotta say, I was quite shocked with this one. Yanya. So I did hear this actually a little bit ago. Was not allowed to say anything. It also came out with Tom. So Tom's kind of made it a way where I can talk about it now. And Yanya is the person that seems to be the new third for Bleed. Now, this is a weird change, right? Because Pollos Hermanos has been together for a while. These guys have been playing with one another, Jaguarez, Nizel, and Yanya for a bit. So the fact that they're making the change now seems so odd. And who are they going to be replacing Yanya with? Because Yanya is not just your average ordinary guy. It's got to be someone very solid, right? Well, I think it is someone who has been proving his case for a while. You'll hear more about that story in a bit, but my goodness, I think this one definitely comes as a shock to many. It looks like Liquid Esports also going to be joining in the roster mania here. So big news on the rise. Now, another conversation that's been going on here, and I think this one probably raises a lot more eyebrows, and that is what in the world is going on with Falcons, specifically Genburten. So this conversation started hours ago with the question from Hot Hot Dragon Fruit 5497 saying, what's going on with Moist? And you can see, right, Guild's been playing with different people. Waltzy's been playing with different people. Waltzy's been playing with Falcons instead of Genburten. Guild's been playing with E8. However, we kind of know what's been going on with Timmy, right? Timmy's got some personal stuff going on with his dad's surgery and such, so we all get it. So it kind of rests that to case really quickly. However, it is a worthy note topic that Genburten has been a little weird. So let's talk about this. Firstly, the comments say it all, right? Firstly, Genburten has removed Falcon from his gamer tag. Why would he do that? On top of that, there's apparently been no Falcon sponsors on stream either, which is weird all of a sudden, coming from a lot of these comments. And then someone had said, look, okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but a roster change seems likely based on the evidence. Jin nor his teammates have mentioned anything about him not playing. They actively ignore chat when it comes up the topic. If he was still on the roster, they would have had a pinned message in Hal's stream stating why Jin can't play at the moment. What are the odds Jin also happened to take Falcon out of his in-game name recently? Verhulst also mentioned on stream that there will be some crazy roster moves that we won't expect. I don't know everything, but points to a roster change. Is the super team breaking up? Now, a lot of people are also kind of putting this like, look, man, Jin kind of got thrown on a legend. Maybe he's not. I mean, crypto is a weird legend to get mastered with. It's not something that I think you can just kind of on short notice become the best at. It requires I think a lot of people that were crypto mains or had crypto experience, not necessarily these slayers that are used to just playing specific legends that just get kills and a lot of kills and are always in gunfights. So when you have these kind of legends that require a little bit more, I guess, thought process, it's a total dynamic shift. It's a total change for a lot of these. But, you know, it is a conversation to have, to say the least. Will Genburten be leaving Falcons esports? Will Falcons be leaving? Why are the Falcons sponsors gone? What's going on with this Falcons roster? So also got an update on this one. This is an unfortunate subject to discuss, but it is the news of what's going on with the game right now. Mandy hitting the hard truth about the current state of the game right now and declining viewership for Apex. And it goes on to even kind of scold EA for some good reasons here. Here's what Mandy had to say. And honestly, quite frankly, I agree with a lot of what he said. Roll the clip.
But if Apex dies, then wouldn't they think about making Apex 2? No. JLG, I'm going to say this to you. And you need to understand what I'm saying. EA does not like Apex. I'm 100% sure of it. EA never expected Apex to do good. It's the child they never wanted, and now they have to take care of it, and they don't want to. I hear it, but it made them so much money. Couldn't do it again? No, because think about it. If they make an Apex 2 and they spend a ton of money making Apex 2, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and then it's just the same as Apex 1 gameplay wise, then they just wasted money, right? There's always gonna be an issue. Is it the worst season? I think it might be one of the worst ones, or like not worst, but the most boring ones to play. Like there's no like, oh, but it hasn't been like that for many, like for 3 years. Like there's no like point in grinding for like a good rank or anything like that. It doesn't really mean anything.
Now, despite that happening, somehow EA did greenlight the BLGS, which gives us more esports, more tournaments to go on. Obviously, there are some other things that we are still wanting in game, right? Not on a Battlefy website or whatever, but still, there's more events going on, which I'm surprised EA was willing to dump into this. But I still think the quality of the game, right? We're still looking for cheaters to get fixed. We're still looking for in-game type tournaments and you know, the games to run stable and to not lag so much and you know, all this other stuff. Regardless, I do think it is worth noting BLGS right around the corner. We're getting ready for some really good competition. And if you haven't seen it already, some of these rules broken down. Interesting pick here with the maps running all 6 maps. This is going to be a very, very different play style, I think, and maybe even meta comp, because you even got his Watson saying recently, like, look, everybody will realize soon that Ash is a strong character and will see the light. I think you're going to see a BLGS situation where not only are you seeing different meta comps because of the map, but you're also because of the people getting good with certain legends, or maybe they finally realize that certain legends go well together, but the maps being different also are going to allow for teams to play with different play styles, different approaches, and you may even see some of these rank grinders start cooking up stuff that they know works in ranked but have never been able to try it on a competitive stage. And I'm interested to see if you see newcomers come out of the BLGS because of E-District, because of Kings Canyon, Olympus, Broken Moon. These are maps that we've played ranked on. We have not really competed on ever, or at least in a very long time for some of these maps. And so it'll be nice to see, are the pros just pros of World's Edge and Stormpoint, or are they pros of all the maps out there? So I'm interested to see how this one goes and see if there's some new names that pop up here. But the maps that will be played for BLGS qualifiers will not only necessarily be 6 maps, but it will be all 6 maps spread out over the 4 qualifiers. So qualifier 1 is World's Edge, Stormpoint, E-District, Kings Canyon. Number 2, World's Edge, Stormpoint, E-District, Olympus. Number 3, World's Edge, Stormpoint, E-District, Broken Moon. And the last one is the same exact as the third one. So you're going to have Kings Canyon, Olympus, Broken Moon kind of traded out there, but World's Edge, Stormpoint, and E-District will be on all 4 qualifiers. And those qualifiers, if you have not seen the schedule already, we just showed, will be ending registration on October the 16th at 3 p.m. EST, and the tournament will be starting October the 19th. That's for the first one. Qualifier number 2 will be beginning October 26th, and then number 3 is November 23rd, right around Thanksgiving there, and then December 7th here for BLGS qualifier number 4. Interested to see where all of this stuff goes. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below about the future of Apex Legend and potentially some of these roster updates. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.